Okay, I want to do some rational expressions. This is fairly not short compared to some of the other videos I have on this. Okay, rational expressions. It's just two fractions involving algebra expressions. There's variables in the denominator. Okay, so multiplication, you can combine that into one if the operation is multiplying. Okay, so I make three lines, and 5y second, I got a simple question. Is there a plus or minus within that expression? No. So if there's not, what you do is you bring it over, cross it out, and just bring it straight over. You don't even need to factor it. 9x or anything really there that's plus or minus? No. Okay. So bring it over, straight over. Okay, 3. No, you just bring that straight over. And there's no plus or minus there, so you bring that straight over. Okay, so those are monomials. They can't be factored. Okay, so there's no parentheses to worry about here, so what I do is I deal with what's the outer factors. They're all outer. Everything's an outer, okay? So you can take the 5 times the 9, that's 45. Then for variables, you got y to the second and x. So you can't really do anything with those other than just write y to the second x, or x and then y to the second. It doesn't matter the order. Okay, 3 times 10 is 30, and then the y would just stay there. Now, you got to simplify the 45 over 30. Okay, they're not the same number. So on your multiplication chart, you would see those both are in row 15. So you divide by the GCF. So I take 45 divided by 15, and that's going to be 3. And then 30 divided by 15 is 2. So you divide each of those by 15. Now the variables, y second and y, so it's y first. You take out the smaller y, minus it from the top, and it's y1 on top, which is just y. And this is my only x variable, and it's on top, so I just drop it down. Okay, my next problem. Now we have a horse of a different color, unfortunately. Okay, so y squared, there's a minus, so this is not a monomial, it's a polynomial. So you need to take that to a piece of scratch paper and see if that will factor. Well, it's two terms, so it'd be GCF, followed by checking to see if it's a difference of perfect squares. Okay, so there's no y at the end, okay, no letter at the end. There's no negative in the front, okay. 1 and 16 is 1, that means that's a no-go. You have the minus. If the variable has a 1 in front, take it away. You don't need it. Y to the second is y times y, and 16 is a perfect square through that row. That's 4 times 4. Okay? All right, so that's y 4, 4. Okay? And then we just put those on the bottom. So in the expression on the main paper, this is replaced with this. Okay? So y plus 4, y minus 4. Okay, now y plus 3, that also has a plus, so you want to check and see if that adopts, because it's two terms. GCF. Then I see if we have adopts, difference of perfect squares. I'm not seeing a variable. I'm not seeing a negative. 1 and 3 just be 1, so don't do it. Now it's a plus, so it can't be adopt. So I didn't do anything, okay? So if you don't do either one of them, okay, then you just cross it out and bring it from its original form over here. Y. Okay, 2y minus 6, okay? So 2y plus 6, excuse me. Now I go to the bottom. That belongs in a parentheses because it's a polynomial. Poly means more than 1. Okay. Plus splits it into the 2, so it's two terms. GCF and DOPS. So I don't see the variable, I don't see the negative. 2 and 6, however, are both in the second row, so that would be a GCF of 2. So that would go up and divide by 2, and that's going to be 1y plus 3. Okay. So you bring the 2 down here and take it out. Okay. Put it down there so it's there. Plus, that's a no. Okay. Now, so you're just going to bring that down, take the 1 off the front of the variable. Then y plus 3. So this becomes 2 times y plus 3. It's like the opposite of the distribution. So 2 and then y plus 3. Okay, then y minus 4. That's got a minus, but I don't think we're going to be able to do like anything with this. And the reason why we're not, GCF DOPS. I don't see the y at the end. I don't see the negative in front. 1 and 4 is 1, so don't do it. Now you might have a minus, you get rid of the 1, okay? But your variable's not to a power, so that's a no as well. So I didn't do anything, so then this just stays in its original form. Okay, now what parentheses could you cross out from top to bottom? Well, y plus 4 is not on bottom. Y minus 4 is, y plus 3 is. So the y plus 4 that's still up there will stay down here in my answer. Now I go jump back up here and simplify my outer factors. Well, we don't have any outer factors. I'll cross that out if you already put it. There's no outer factors on the top. Bottom you have a 2. Okay? So you can't really simplify a 2 on the bottom. The 2 would just stay on the bottom. Okay, next problem. Okay, we have x to the second power minus 2x minus third. So you see multiplication, all that stuff. You can clearly see it on your paper. Okay, so you extend the line. Make 3 of your own lines. This on top, that has minus. Okay, so you take this and you try to rewrite it. That's 3 terms. So that's GCF followed by the table. So do you have an x on the end? No. Do you have a negative in front? No. 1, 2, and 35 is 1. Okay. So 1 times negative 35 is negative 35. Okay. So that's a mismatch of the signs. So that's a positive times a negative. You are adding to try to make your b, which is negative 2. Okay. 35 divided by 1 is 35. That clearly does not add to negative 2. 35 divided by 2 is a decimal. 35 divided by 3 is a decimal. 35 divided by 4 decimal. Keep going at it. 5 and 7. So 5 plus negative 7, negative 2. Okay. So I put the plus 5 and the minus 7. Now my a, x seconds multiplied by a 1. Okay. You can do it the old way and just drop the 1. Okay. It's up to you. Or you can apply the 1, but those can't be simplified. That's just in 1's row. That's just in 1's row. So take the 1's off. It's just x plus 5, x minus 7. So this becomes this. So cross it out. You have x plus 5, x minus 7. Now over here, still on top, you have a minus. So you need to bring that over here. 4x to the third power minus 9x. That's a binomial. 2 terms. That's GCF DOPS. You see if you have a greatest common factor, and then if you have a difference of perfect squares. Well, you got x on the end for 1. Don't have the negative. 4 and 9 is 1, but it's 1x, so do it. Okay. So it would be 4. The x third divided by x would go to x second, and then minus 9. That would cancel. Okay. Now that GCF, first off, take the 1 off the front and just bring the x down here. And you can cross it off and not worry about it till you're done with the dots. So you have a minus. Now you can't get rid of a 4. It's not like a 1. 4x squared is totally different than 1x squared. Well, 4 is a perfect square. That's 2 times 2. Then x to the second is x times x, so it would be 2x and 2x, just like that. And then across the minus, 9 is a perfect square, so that's 3 times 3. Okay? So 2x, 2x, 3, 3. Bring those down. And again, you don't cross off 2's. You only do that with it's a 1. Okay? So this turns into this. So x and then 2x plus 3, 2x minus 3. Okay, 2x to the third power minus 3x to the second. So okay, it's a binomial, so that's 2 terms. GCF. Then you see if you have a difference of perfect squares. Okay, so x on the end, yep, to the second. Negative in front, nope, 2 and 3 is 1. So then you divide by 1x to the second. 2x third divided by x second would take it to x to the first, which is x and minus 3. These cancel. Now the GCF, if it's a 1 in front of the x, cross it out, bring it down. Now is this a minus? Yep. It's 2. You can't get rid of it if it's not 1. It has to stay there. The only time you can scribble it out in front of the x if it's a 1. Coefficient of 1. Coefficient's 2 here. You got to keep it. 2 right away isn't a perfect square, so that's no. So I bring down the 2x minus 3. So this becomes this. Okay, and then 7x minus 49, it's got a minus there, so it's a binomial. And just because it's not to the second doesn't mean, yeah, it's not going to be a DOPS probably, but I mean the GCF could potentially be there. X on the end, no. Negative in front, no. 7 and 49 are both in row 7, so you need to factor out just a constant 7. It's going to be 1x minus 7. Okay, so you bring down your 7, cross it out. Now you got your minus. Now again, if the variable's got a 1, you can get rid of it on the dots. Okay, but x isn't to the second, so it doesn't really matter anyway. So it's going to be x minus 7. So that is rewritten as 7 and then x minus 7. Now what parentheses can I get rid of? Not the x plus 5. Well, this x minus 7 can go. 2x plus 3 can't go, but 2x minus 3 can. So I still have these two parentheses in the numerator on top. X plus 5, 2x plus 3. Now your outer. Well, you got x, that's it on top. Now on bottom you have 2x and 7. You need to multiply those. Well, 2 times 7 is 14, and then x. So you ain't doing nothing with the 14. That's just going to drop down on bottom. But the x's, since they're both to the 1 power, can cancel. So there's your answer. Okay, last problem here. So extend the line on a multiplication. If it's addition and subtraction, that's a totally different ballgame. So there's the first one, pluses and minuses going on, so you attempt to rewrite the factor of the polynomial. So it's 3 terms, so that would be GCF and the t-chart. No x, no negative, 1, 10, and 9's 1. Okay. 1 times 9's 9, positive 9. Okay. So that's a match. Positive means the signs match, so you put 2 signs that match. And we have to add to negative 10, so we probably want to keep it at negative negative. 9 divided by 1 is 9. Right away, that's negative 10. Okay. Minus 9. So a, x second, that's a 1. Okay. So it's x, because we always know that's x times x. You can apply the 1 in front. Can't really do anything because it's already in simplest form. That wouldn't be, you divide by 1, which is pointless. Okay. Take the 1s off the front of your x. That's why I always told you in first semester if a is 1, it's just x, because you can't simplify as I've exhibited there. So this becomes x minus 1, x minus 9. X plus 4, okay, that's a polynomial. See if you can factor it. GCF DOPS. Okay, what factoring is, it's just taking the expressions and rewriting them in parentheses. GCF's no, it's just 1, okay. And it's a plus, so that's a no. So I didn't do anything, so then that is going to remain in its same form. X squared minus 1, okay. That's 2 terms, so that would be GCF and DOPS. Don't have x, don't have the negative, 1 and 1's 1, don't be doing it then, okay? Now in the DOPS, you got your minus. Now if the variable's got a 1 as the coefficient, you probably don't need that. I mean, if it's a 4, as you saw before, I have to deal with it. It's 2 and 2. X times x, 1's a perfect square, 1 times 1, so x, 1, 1, okay? So this is rewritten into this form. We didn't do the GCF. If I do a GCF, not a 1, but I'd be putting it before I did the x plus 1, x minus 1. So this is rewritten as this. Then finally, x second minus 5x, obviously pluses and minuses, making it a polynomial with 3 terms, okay? So GCF, and then the t-table. So I don't have x, don't have the negative. 1, 5, and 36 is 1, okay? Then ABC that, and that's negative 36, okay? And it's a mismatch, okay? That's a positive and a negative. So you're adding the factors to try to make negative 5. 36 divided by 1 is 36. That's not even close. 36 divided by 2 is 18. So I put 2, 18. That's add those, it's negative 16. 36 divided by 3 is 12. Add those, that's negative 9. 36 divided by 4 is 9. Add those, and that is negative 5. Okay. So we put the plus 4 minus 9. Now what's the A? 1x seconds. So I know x seconds, x times x. Now 1, you can either ditch it, okay, doesn't really matter, okay, or you can put it, but it still can't be simplified. That'd just be divided by 1. So with that, please take the 1's off. If you're doing it that way, please take the 1's off before you line them up down here. So this is rewritten as this. Now what parentheses can go? I mean, it's all parentheses. X minus 1, x minus 9, and x plus 4. So really the only parentheses we have left is x plus 1 on the bottom. Now you can't have the top and now outer, you don't have any outers, so don't have to worry about that. Okay, then you just put your 1. If you don't have anything on top, you fill that in with a 1. You can't have an empty numerator. You can have an empty denominator, but